Hi, I'm recording. Welcome to Summer Mentoring. Um, how was retreat? I can share a little bit about that with you guys. I just went to Diamond Retreat. I wanted to like write all of you this long email about it and just like everything I've learned, but I'm just really swamped, so it's hard to write emails out. But I definitely want to share with you guys if you want to know about retreat. I got invited to doTERRA's first ever diamond retreat. So any diamonds, whether you've hit diamond once or you're a solid diamond, got to go. And they released it and it sold out. So they released another weekend. So there was two separate weekends of diamond retreat. And I got in that second weekend, which worked better for my schedule anyway. I love that doTERRA is so open to families because I have a newborn baby and I had to take my newborn baby to diamond retreat. And I made sure, I even emailed them and I was like, oh, I have a newborn. I have to bring my newborn. Is that okay? And they said, absolutely. You can have your baby right in session, right next to you in session. And when you go to like leadership retreat and convention, if your baby's just making noise, they have a room that you can go to called like the mother's room or a family room to watch convention on a TV screen in a separate room where there's a whole bunch of moms and babies. So so they make it very easy for you to bring your family. And so I brought Lee. It was really exhausting. Like I was exhausted, not gonna lie. Barely slept, and she was barely sleeping, so I was barely sleeping. But when you go to doTERRA events, they just help you get really, really ignited and feel the company and get really clear with yourself and where you want to go. I would just say the difference between Diamond Retreat is that it's very small compared to leadership and convention. And since you're only with other diamonds, not everyone in your team are diamonds. So when you go, you're actually there to make friends with other diamonds. And that is so valuable. Like you guys have each other. I don't really have any other diamonds, like cross lines. It's my uplines. And sometimes talking to your uplines is different from talking to other people who are doing the business, right? So I don't have anyone that I know that is doing the business alongside me instead of above me. And so I went there. My main goal was to make friends and talk to other diamonds about what their team looks like and how their business is going and what their life is like. And if you guys read, do you guys read Leadership Magazine? Every story is so different. So I want you guys to read this too, because when you read that every story is so different, maybe you only know me as a diamond, or maybe you know Miley, maybe you know Noel, but and I don't want you guys to think that I'm what diamond looks like. I'm not. You can be diamond. Whatever your story is, you can be a diamond as well. And when you read all these stories, you'll see how different everybody is. So it's kind of amazing. Um, but yeah, I went there. The training was very diamond type of training, and so it's wouldn't be the same if you guys got that training. Each rank is so different, and most of my qualifiers are silver, so I'm 3 ranks above them: gold, platinum, and diamond, right? So it's hard to kind of relate to my silver sometimes, and it's nice to get trainings diamonds. There was a lot of speakers that were presidential diamonds. That was really inspiring for me and really helpful because they've been where I've been and can give me advice. And then there was a presidential diamond panel. So that was really cool. We got to all submit questions and they got to answer them. So it was so great. And any doTERRA event that is offered to you guys, I highly recommend taking advantage of. Diamond Retreat was offered to me last month, and I said, I have to go. I have a newborn, but I have to go, and I bought my ticket right away. So I really hope you guys take advantage of all of those. Anyways, anybody want to share how they're doing? I know it's summer. I know it's July. I know we have 1 week left in this month. How are you doing as a person? How are you doing in your business? Whatever you want to share. You don't have to share about your business. Sorry. Gotta blow my nose. Anybody, or you guys feel like you're okay? You can also share in the chat. We only have 2 weeks of summer mentoring left, by the way. You're like, yeah, I'm okay. Alrighty. No pressure. You guys don't have to share. We have 2 weeks of summer mentoring left. I'm alive. That's like a celebration within itself. I know. Oh my goodness. I know, it's kind of nuts. We have 2 weeks left. I really enjoyed summer mentoring and I hope you guys did too. it wasn't a lot of skills training. It was a lot of conversations and personal development and question and answer with diamonds, with your diamond leader and all that. So I really enjoy doing this and showing up for you guys every Tuesday. Oh, Elika wants to share. Perfect, because I got to grab my baby. Okay.
Wait, so what is the question? Like how we're doing just as a person?
How are you? In your personal life, in your business, whatever you want to share.
I think I just had a mentor call with Naomi before this. That's mostly why I couldn't make any of these ones, because I would be from there and then forget. But I think where I'm at right now in my business is my husband and I actually just had a conversation. Like I think in the beginning, which was November of last year, is when I decided to start actually doing the business. I'm super competitive and I was super gung ho, and I was like mostly like I just wanted to outlast all the people who in my life personally around me decided to do essential oils at the time. So like I had a couple people in my life do young living, and all of a sudden it kind of became a trend, and I just wanted to outlast them. And but then I realized the more that I got into oils and the more that I started to share about oils and all of that, the more I realized I started hitting walls where I could only get so far on my own. And then it's when you actually start incorporating the oils that I realized, oh, okay, I actually have some stuff that I have not dealt with yet, or I have stuff that I have been kind of pushing down, emotional things, or so just stuff like that. So I ended up actually stopping a lot of parts of my business, apart from doTERRA too. And then my husband and I decided to go into business together. So I've been focusing less on like marketing and more so on just what we're doing together. And it was actually the other day that he had asked me in the car, and he's like, okay, so doTERRA, like, where is that at, you know? And it was like he was almost kind of giving me an out, like, you can stop if you want to. And I was tempted, but I wasn't tempted at the same time, if that makes sense. Like I kind of just like entertained the idea in my brain, and I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, like if I stopped, what would happen? Because I feel like I've been in doTERRA for almost 2 years, right? I think this November will make 2 years. 1 year almost building for almost 1 year. But I realized, like, just with people that I know that stopped doing it, this is about the time that they're like, okay, like that was a nice run, I'm done. And I looked at him and I told him, I said, I just really feel like I am on the cusp, or like the brink of actually pushing. Like, what would it look like if I pushed past this level of, this is where normally where people stop. Like my friend Courtney, who is originally my upline from before, like this was about the time that she had stopped. And so I could see, just a number of reasons why people decide they don't want to. And I just told him, he's like, well, do you feel like you're putting in money and you're not getting any return? Like he was honestly just trying to see where I was at and if I was actually dedicated. And I told him, I'm like, I know like a lot of business investment, like a lot of businesses, it will take investment, and it's going to take actually really, really, really pushing past where you don't think you can push past anymore. And so after that, I said, just let me do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep doing it. I just want to see what it's like to push past bad, if that makes sense. Push past bad and trend. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited. Convention, I just sent Jalen a countdown because we're roommates. So I'm like, convention is literally 1 month and 16 days away. And I just have nothing but high hopes and expectations for it, yeah. And I feel like oils have just been incorporated into my life. Like it's almost like slime and like fidget spinners. Like if I'm feeling fidgety, or if I'm feeling stressed out, or if I need something, then I'm just going to go grab like an oil and put it on, So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It seems like a lot, but I'm alive. So yeah. The end.
Thanks for sharing. That was huge. And I really, really appreciated that, Yulikia, especially your honesty. And I feel like a few of the girls on here can probably relate. I mean, I've even had that moment too. I don't remember it. Noelle told me there's one moment you wanted to quit. I was like, really? I did that? But obviously, I was in that space and my mentor was there to help me kind of like work through it and allow me to figure it out. And I'm pushed past it and I'm like gone, right? It's like, I know I belong here. And so I just, again, I just really appreciated that you shared that because I know that's vulnerable to share and it's honest. But I know that everyone in this team probably has gone through this at least once or twice. So I really hope that convention is like everything that you need and more. It's amazing. So, and I'm so glad that you're coming. I'm so excited. And I'm so excited we all get to spend time together.
Exactly. And I'm going to be away from my children for an entire week in a bed by myself. I mean, Jalen and I are going to be roommates, but like, that's what I'm most excited about. Like, I get to be away. I just get to smell oils all day long, kind of like a crackhead, but it's a crackhead convention. Okay, I'm done.
Oh my gosh. No, convention is like, it's really intense. It's just like a lot all at once in like that many days. But it's fun. Okay, so I know that when you're talking to your husband in the car, I just kind of want to start and go with that. You guys, like, my husband has done that to me so many times. Not like really just trying to challenge, but help you get really clear and asking those questions that you need someone to ask you that are really honest and raw that makes you answer them and come up with some clarity on your own. And it's amazing that you obviously have that support from your husband. And it may not be like, I have support from my husband in doTERRA. I think it's more, I have my support from my husband in whatever I want to do. And I think that's like really, really valuable. I have that right now with my husband. Whatever he said, maybe one day down the line you decide not to do doTERRA, and I'm like, what? I would never, which I really won't. But he's like, I just want you to know that I really believe in you, and whatever you put your mind to and whatever you dedicate to, I know that you'll do really well in. So just having the support from a spouse is so important. At the same time, sometimes not. I don't know. This is a topic today, right? It's getting the support from your other halves and your loved ones, because I know you guys feel like it is really important, especially in this business, and it is really important. But I will say, in the very beginning of my business, I didn't have that support from him. It was definitely the support of, yes, if you're unhappy and stressed out where you are, quit, come be a stay-at-home mom, because that's what we ultimately want. And yes, you can try doTERRA, but it wasn't a support of like, whatever you need to do in doTERRA, I'll take the kids and you do what you need to do. It was not that. It was like, I had to create time and find time to do this business and show him that I could be successful in it. And then later down the line, he was like, oh, you're silver? Okay, I'll take the kids and you can go teach a class. And then later on with Diamond, it's like, I'm like, Paul, I need to do this. I need to teach this class for this builder and help this builder launch. I need to do these calls. He's like, don't need to explain. Whatever you need to do to be Diamond, you can do it. So there's such that like progress of this type of support and the amount of support that my husband has given me starting this business from the beginning until now. And I know that a lot of you are just starting, and I want to make sure that you guys feel the support, because sometimes you don't get that support right away from everyone around you. But let's start with loving yourself and supporting yourself first, and then knowing that you have this team and this upline team and your cross lines and everyone in doTERRA that definitely supports you as well. But let's open up that conversation of, how do you get your loved ones support? Does anyone want to share about how maybe where you're at in the support that you're getting from your spouse, your partner, your family, and where you want to be, or if you feel like you've gotten there and how you got there? I know Charity's gonna go.
Oh man, you know me. I'm all like moving towards
I know, I saw your finger.
button. I was like,
Can you say your name and how long you've been doing the business and what rank you're at?
Okay, my name is Charity Paiva. I know it says Barbara on the screen, but my married name is Paiva, and I've been doing the business for almost, I think, what's it, the end of August, so almost 2 years. Almost 2 years at Silver. Support from the hubby. I think it was the same as you, Ash. In the beginning, it wasn't like full support. It was kind of a really big adjustment and shift. Because I really didn't feel like, and sometimes I still feel like that he didn't know everything that goes into the business, like everything that you're putting into the business. He doesn't see the behind the scenes or the time, and like it's really like building relationships, and that takes a while. And sometimes I feel like if it's not like a 9 to 5, or like I was working at Home Bar for so long, it's not 1 to 8 or 4 till 2 a.m. Like it's not actually work, So it'd be like, what do you do all day? Like, well, I was doing computer work, and like putting together my planner, like shit like that. So it was definitely a shift for him to see a different type of work. So, but I think just me being really consistent and like passionate about what I've been doing and sharing, he kind of was like, okay, like I see what you're doing, and that you're really passionate this way and what it can provide eventually in the long term for our family. Then he kind of started coming around and like supporting, and because like your sisters, like you guys will all be like, oh my god, you hit elite, yay, like let's celebrate. Or like Aiko's really good, Ashley's really good, like oh let's go have lunch, like because it's really something to celebrate when you hit a rank or solidify. But in the beginning, it was kind of like, oh, I hit elite. He's like, oh, great, that's awesome, congrats, like and it's like, shit, I worked really hard for that. So yeah, it just took a while for him to come around, but now he supports me in everything that I do, and we just were talking actually last night, and I've been feeling a little stuck and kind of looking for new builders and people to join me along the way. And I just, it gets a little discouraging because it's like such an amazing opportunity, but you gotta love people where they're at, right? So he was like, oh, I know that. He goes, I see you working really hard, and it's not for lack of your consistency and hard work, because I see you doing the work, but I understand like where you're stuck. And so just kind of grasping that. So yeah, I think it just takes time, but it is really a big thing to have that support from your husband and your family. And Aubrey, she's always super supportive. Like I think she might be my biggest, you can do that, mom, you can do anything. And I'm like, yeah. So, and I just want to set the example for her, especially her being in her teens, that if you're just consistent through the hard times and really believing in something, you can make anything come true. So, yeah, that's it.
When do you feel like it shifted for you? Like, or do you feel like you had, how did you get through the beginning without his full support? And when do you feel like it shifted?
I got through it a lot with you guys, like mentor calls, classes, being really connected and seeing, other people moving in the same direction with that passion and that fire. Like that's what kept me, invested. Because and like it's like the company you keep, right? If you're gonna be with people that are small-minded and not going anywhere and like just judging everybody else, that's kind of what you'll end up doing. But if you're around people who are, growing, expanding, like doing big things, that's where you're gonna go as well. So I think definitely, showing up for myself on these calls and any kind of training, like that's definitely what helped me stay the path when he wasn't as supportive, like that year that I joined, I think Noel had basics class and business overviews like every single week. Was it? Yeah, Ash, you had something like that. But I just, even that, I showed up to every basics class, every business overview, because I just was so like determined to learn and figure out how this is gonna work. And it just kind of was like, I'm gonna prove you wrong, right? And it sucks to have that feeling like I gotta prove myself to be in this business to show you that I'm capable of doing it. You know, I'm not sure at what point. I don't think there was like, I don't think it was a rank or anything. I just think that he saw me being so consistent and passionate about what I was doing that he kind of was like, okay, you know, I get it. And yeah, and I'm probably being less stressed. When I was at home, I was stressed and I was not a nice person to be around. It was like all the oils and whatever. So I think that that definitely helped our relationship too, because I wasn't just bitchy all the time, you know? So
Oh my God, you're hilarious. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, I would say my shifts were always the rank, but in order to get me all the way there, I had to have a lot of conversations. And that's why in my mentor calls with my qualifiers, I'm like, can you sit down with your partner, just the two of you, and look at each other face to face and talk about this? And they're like, no. I'm like, perfect. This is a great time to grow. You know, I feel like my husband and I, we had good conversations, but not the type of conversations where you like absolutely sit and talk about what you want out of life, where you're going together, what path you're on, what path they're on, and are those paths going to join in different places of time? And I'm like, now I'm thinking about something else, and the thing that I'm thinking is, when I went to Diamond Retreat, I was talking to someone in line in the food truck, and she's a diamond, solid diamond, and she told me that she's going through a divorce. She went through a divorce, and she has 3 children, and I was like, oh my goodness. And it scared me, because to see high-level rankers in doTERRA getting divorces, she's not the first person that we've noticed get a divorce that's a diamond and above, right? I know you guys follow some doTERRA people that reach diamond, blue diamond, and then you notice they get a divorce, or you notice their husband isn't in the picture anymore, and you're like, did they get a divorce? You're kind of questioning, right? And then later on, it is said they're getting a divorce, or they got a divorce, and that scares me. And so, because I had her in real life telling me that she got a divorce, I asked her, why did you get a divorce? I would love if you could share some advice. And she told me, and I said, did you get a divorce once you reached diamond? And she said, yes. She said it was diamond rank. She said, money changes things. She said, you have to grow together. And I already know this. Like I see it. One of my strengths is futuristic. And so I can see that happening. I saw that happening when I first started growing, and my husband wasn't doing personal development like I was doing. And I started growing deeper and started wanting other things and being noticeable about the entire world, not just like what's going on in my day. So I started to have conversations with him, and she told me the best thing you can do is grow together, have conversations with your team, and have them have conversations with their spouses, and get on the same page always. You know, having those conversations of what you want out of life, what your goals are, having them understand yours, having you understand theirs, should, I hope, help you, you know, always stay together on that path. But yeah, it scared me when she shared that with me, just because I've been noticing a lot of high level rankers getting divorced when I saw their business being so strong as a couple. And so when I started seeing everyone split, I was like, oh my God, what, why? And so, yeah, I do feel like a lot of the support that I've gotten from my husband has been us sitting down in the morning. We wake up maybe half an hour to an hour before our kids do. We sit down and we have coffee together in silence and talk. Or when he comes home, we sit down on the couch together and we talk. And I say, hey, can I talk to you? Instead of, you know, him just coming home and we're doing our own things or starting to cook dinner for the kids, it's, hey, let's talk. And so when I did my dream board, I even shared with him what my dreams are. And I said, do you want to do a dream board too? And he told me, or do you want to do a dream board together? And he told me, no, because we have the same dreams. And I said, okay, good. And every once in a while, I'll redo my dream board and I'll ask him again. I'll talk to him again and tell him all my dreams and see if he's on the same page, and he confess. So they say women hold everything in the relationships, in the family, all of that, right? We look up to our grandmas because our grandmas have held our traditions, the heart of our family, right? Has all the gatherings. I think it's the same in marriage. That's what I think anyway, as I'm living through this. As I grow, I also ask my husband to grow. And I ask him, like, do you meditate? Do you want to do this together? What are you grateful for? And I'm teaching my kids the same. I ask him to read certain books that I've read, and I'm just hoping it's enough, basically. But, okay. I know you guys are kind of freaked out when I said that about the high rankers. Anybody want to share anything about that or add to it?
I'll add.
I would love for you to speak, Alyssa.
I might get emotional, so I apologize in advance. But I've been around, I guess, the business side of doTERRA for 2 years. I think July-ish of 2017 is when I came around. Super stoked, super excited about it. It was awesome. Because my big dream is to own my own spa. And the dream came when I was 15 years old, and I knew that I wanted to have indigenous practices from around the world. And like, how perfect is it that doTERRA gets all their stuff, like sources from all these indigenous areas? So I was like, oh my gosh, it's a godsend. And I just started learning at first in 2017, and then I found out that my husband was having an emotional affair. So I went like stepped back and I was like, I can't do this. Like Ash was doing like, I think it was pre-elite with me or something. And I was like, no. Like, let me figure this out. So I kind of tried to get ahead of my marriage. And then we found out we were expecting, and everything seemed fine. It was great. Had our baby in June of 2018. 3 weeks later, I didn't find out, but 3 weeks later, he stepped out on the marriage again. And I was alone with 3 kids, and inevitably we got a divorce this year. So I can't speak to the success of a business with doTERRA, but I can speak to, oh my gosh, why, Ash? What the heck? Like, on my first day back, like, I'm gonna cry. I can speak to, one, living small, and just belittling yourself to compromise, your dreams for the bigger sake of the family, which in some ways is admirable, but in other ways, everyone in the family, including your husband, deserves for you to live your best, right? But two, what I really notice about myself is I create outs. And Charity, I didn't get to hear the whole story Ilikia, I think, with your husband in the car. But I know I do that to myself, where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going through so much. Like, I'm going through a divorce. Like, I'm not going to do this business. Like, this is too much for me, right? And I just had a newborn. But look at Ash. She's freaking 3 newborns. I bet she would be like still on this call, But like, I created so many excuses because I wanted to be in good graces or get the attention of my husband and keep him around and stuff. And we've been together since high school. So it's very like Ash is saying, to grow together. We did physically, like we grew up together, but mentally and emotionally and spiritually, it was very different, obviously. So I think, like, in the sense of the business, the reason I'm coming back is, one, I have the time. Like, I don't have somebody that I'm kind of entertaining like that anymore. But I think it's also because I know what I want, and I want, like, my spa is still my goal. So I have like a renewed opportunity to go after that and to focus, I think. And that brings all the other good stuff to come. I don't think it's so hard to say this, but I don't think divorce is necessarily horrible. It's, oh man, it's hard to say that because I'm Christian and I believe in marriage and I believe in covenants and commitments. But if you're on the spiritual side, if your vibrations aren't in alignment, if you're in the Christian side, if your yokes are not equal, all to say, if you're not in the same mentality, it's not necessarily a bad thing, and that God will allow things to happen for a reason. And I think that's kind of like what the story is for me unfolding, is like, maybe I would have never had the opportunity to explore the spa if I stayed married, so that's kind of like where I'm at. And it's kind of nice to hear that other people in the business have gone through it, so it's like, okay, at least I'm not alone, like other people have experienced this too. So yeah, I didn't totally break down. I'm good. So that's all.
Thanks for sharing, Alyssa. I know that was really hard. Thanks for making everybody cry. It's amazing that this is your first call that you're hopping on, Alyssa. I know it's been a while, and this was the topic, and
It's not a coincidence.
Yeah, and I feel like every time you share your story, Jalen shared a really heartfelt story, in our team call, and she shared how it made her stronger, and so, okay, now I'm going on to like how much I love this team. I feel like that's the kind of culture that this team has created, of like just a safe space of sharing and growing and feeling each other, because we're all so different, and like humanity, we need each other, really. And then it just, I'm like connecting all the dots. Then it connects to doTERRA and how we, the way that oil is supported, sourced, and how we support other communities. And oh my God, it's too much for me. This is why when you go to convention, you cry so much, because you see the dots connect over and over and over in every single message. So if you're not coming to a convention, you can buy the live streaming. I'm dying right now. But thank you for sharing that, Alyssa.
Yeah, and I am planning to come to convention. I never mentioned that before, but so oddly in the story, we, my husband, or ex-husband, and I moved to Utah for like 5 days trying to restore the marriage. But my whole thought was like, yes, like Utah, doTERRA, like that's what's up. But in our families there, they moved, like, or his side of the family, my auntie moved there as well. So there's a whole lot of people there that I know. And we actually have to go to North Carolina the following week for a wedding. So I was like, oh my gosh, perfect. Utah, North Carolina. So I'm planning to be there, hopefully.
Yeah. Yay! So excited for you. Alyssa was one of my first builders, you guys. She was right around the same time as Aiko. You're actually like next to Aiko. She's like next to Aiko on my tree. So yeah, we've seen each other go through a lot. I feel like, well, I've mostly seen her go through a lot, and I just am so thankful for our friendship and our relationship, and I'm happy that you're still here. Okay, where do you go from there, you guys? How do we keep this call moving? Oh my God. And I'm only crying in this eye, which is really odd. Only one eye is crying. Again, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. So our topic is how to get support from your loved ones. Anybody else have anything to share on that? Anybody feel like they don't have support from their loved ones as you're starting your business? Maybe your family is like, what are you doing? Selling oils? How long is that going to last? Oh, you're doing an oil thing? Oh, you're doing network marketing? Cool. And like, doesn't come to your classes. Yeah. Like, yeah, I think some are waiting for me to stop. Yeah. And Robin said me. Okay. You guys, just on that initial support, that's going to be up to you. I know that sometimes it's like, come on, like, just I'm doing something. Can you just love and support me in it, right? Can you please just support me? That's going to be a fight for sure. But it's going to start with you of, I have a purpose. I am doing this. I am an owner of a business now, and I'm going to do what it takes to be successful in it. I had to start with the attitude of, I'm going to show you. And I did that, right? And so I think you guys, like, start there. Your purpose. Ilikia said, on shitty low days, how do you show support for yourself? You go back to your why, and you go back to your personal development. Because your purpose is greater than support. The support will come later on. And then you're going to have to forgive. You're going to have to forgive people for not supporting you in the beginning, because they're going to be like, wow, you're doing so good. I'm ready to support you kind of feeling, right? And you're going to be like, oh, this whole time you didn't want to support me, and only now you do. Now that you see that I'm successful, you're going to have to forgive. You have to forgive, because some people just don't understand. Another thing, the more consistent you are in your business, always showing up. Oh, you're still doing classes 1 year later. You're still doing that? They're building that trust, and they're building that support for you. Personal development, we did talk about it in a different call, but daily personal development, your Be Smart routine, not just listening to one podcast, doing something for your body, envisioning, like as it's already happened, scribing, journaling, affirmations, telling yourself, I am supported, I am lovable, I'm capable, I am good enough, any of those. And R is reading, so that's podcasts or reading books, and then thankfulness, gratitude, writing down 3 things you're thankful for today, talking about it. I asked my husband, what are 3 things you're thankful for today? And then I turned to my daughter and I said, what are you thankful for today? Getting my whole family involved with that too. Okay, but yeah, start with yourself. You have a hard day, go back to your why. If you don't know your why yet, look up that paper and start writing it out. If you haven't visited your why in maybe like 3 months, I would visit it every quarter. I would suggest doing that every quarter. Visit your why, blank sheet, and start writing it out again, answering the questions again, not just looking at your current sheet and reading it. My why is blah, 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 but actually starting with a blank sheet and writing it out again. My why is this. Your why can be very simple. It does not have to be like, you don't have to feel like my why is not good enough, or I don't have a why, or my why is not deep enough. Start simple. I want to share oils with others because I found solutions for myself and my kid. I want to help another mom who needs oils to help her child not be as sick so much, or help to breathe and open up their airways because that child has asthma, or help another child with eczema. I want to create enough income to bring my husband home from work. I want to bring enough income so that we can travel as a family and create memories. It can be just that. Later down the line, you'll probably grow it deeper. So wherever you're at with your why, that's okay, as long as you have a why and you write it out, okay? Yeah, you're so funny. I tell people I'll splash peppermint in their eyes. Alyssa, people will respond to you the way that you are responding to yourself. They see how you're treating yourself and your commitments, and that's how they'll show up too. Totally. Giselle, today, Ashley mentored me to do the Be Smart consistently, even though other aspects of my biz is working and moving forward. She noticed I haven't been focusing on myself. I love that reality check. And my advice was, I know life is so crazy. Everyone is so crazy and everyone is so busy. It is what it is. When you get up in the morning, do your routine, get your kids settled, get breakfast on the table, you come and sit down on your desk. Before being like, who do I need to respond to? Who do I need to talk to? What builder needs me? Who needs me? Any of that. It's all about somebody else, right? You're going to start with you. Do my Be Smart routine, 10 minutes. Write out an affirmation. Look at yourself. Say it out loud. It might sound silly. Write out 3 things you're grateful for, what you want today to look like. What are 3 top priorities? Look at your to-do list. Write out your to-do list and then go. Breathe in oil and then go. So you're always going to be starting with yourself. Yeah. Alyssa, I think that's the hardest thing for me. For the past 2 years, I picked up and slowed down due to my excuses. That gratitude activity changes things completely. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, starting with yourself and consistency. The support from loved ones can and will come. Have a lot of conversations. Let them know how important this is to you. Why, when we do the business overviews or when we do our oil classes, we're like, this is my oil story. And this is why I decided to do the business. And this is my mission. Now let me teach you about oils and let me help you get oils into your home, right? With your family, same conversations. I decided to do a doTERRA business. I am launching. I'm so excited about this because I want to share oils. I want to help other people with oils, natural solutions. I'm so passionate about it. Done. You just shared with people what you're doing and why it's important to you. And because you're important to them, it should be important to them as well, right? Otherwise, it will grow because you're constantly sharing why and you're constantly, consistently showing up in your business for yourself. Alrighty. Anybody else want to talk about anything or add in? You feel like that was a good conversation and you guys are ready to take on the world? Supporting yourself and getting others to support you. Oh, there's Charity Sauter Aubrey. Okay.
Yeah, where they wanted to do like a friend day at the mall. So
Oh,
do some
so
work here. But,
oh,
yeah, it's like the awkward parent, like, oh yeah, that's my mom. Walk the other way.
you're such a good mom. I love that option. Good option. Okay. Anybody else want to talk about anything? Good luck with it's BOGO day. Good luck with your BOGOs. Good luck with your month. Good luck with your goals. You can do anything that you guys set your mind to and set your heart to. Alrighty. I'll let you guys go. Bye.